Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. A hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
Good evening, everyone. Hope all are doing good. So, please inform to your friends and colleagues to join the session so that we'll start the session. Okay. So, today we have our trainer Umar Yakub, sir. So, yes, sir, you can take up the class.
Yeah, so should I start or should we wait for some more joinees to join?
Yeah, we'll start like 7:5. 1 more minute is there, no? Like,
Okay, let's wait for another minute and then we'll start.
yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Chandan. Good evening, everyone. So as you all were insisting on some documentations to be provided to you all, so I have done a handful of research for you guys, and I have come up with some around questions which they will ask for freshers. Okay, so these are the questions which I managed to get hold of, and as the course progresses, I'll try to add more to this list. So we'll have a repository of questions and answers. So if you all can brush up this much, should be more than sufficient for cracking any interview for a freshers level job. Okay. So as we have chosen Java as our programming language for these sessions, so we'll conduct this session based on Java. Okay. And whenever I see the need, I can add some other language, we can do so. Okay. If I plan to add some database also into this course, so that also is a very important tool to have on your resume. Okay, so the head count is increasing. So I guess we'll start and people will join as we progress. Okay, so if you're going for a Java developer's profile, or the first question what they'll ask is what is Java? Okay, so Java is a high-level object-oriented programming language. Okay, so parallelly we can open up a Word document in which we can document our answers also. Okay, so if question 1 is what is Java, then the answer to that is, okay, so as I said yesterday, always try to answer your question in bullet points. Okay, do not say long paragraphs. Always try to be precise and to the point. So you can just answer this in 2 important keywords which you need to take. So Java is a high-level language. Point 1. And second, it's an object-oriented programming language. As you all know. Oops. Okay. Now, what do I mean by high-level language? So, as and when we need, I'll demonstrate you all by drawing some diagrams. So, if whenever we write a code in Java, okay, so these are the basic things which the interviewer will expect from you all that you all should be knowing. Okay. So the code which we write in Java is called as the source code. Okay. So whatever Java instructions we are writing is called as the source code, and we save the source code with the extension .java. Okay. Now in our JDK, we have a very important tool called as Java compiler. So once I take this code, source code, and pass it to the Java compiler and ask the Java compiler, please compile this code for me. The compiler will then, it's more like a translator. It will translate this source code into a, what you call bytecode. Okay, this is what we need to understand. So bytecode, you can also call it as intermediate code, or you can also call it as portable code. Okay, so the more vocabulary you use in the interview, more chances are that you will impress the interviewer. Okay, so these sessions are primarily and designed for those candidates who in the coming months are planning to appear for an interview. Okay, so this is what is the primary objective of XLR, to conduct these courses for aspiring those candidates who are just nearing their completion of academics, or there's some campus rounds going on and campus companies are coming in the campus for hiring. So we are focusing towards that goal. So whenever you're trying to explain, if you can increase the vocabulary and try to explain the same thing using multiple words, will impress, the chances are more that you're going to impress the interviewer. Okay, so once I compile the code, it gets converted into another language that is called as your bytecode, or it's also called as intermediate code or portable code. Okay, so these are, so one of the very striking feature which has made Java so popular. Okay, so I was just searching, nowadays we all are aware about Chat GPT, correct? I don't think so there's any person over here who isn't aware about this innovation. So the other day I was just browsing on Chat GPT, and I just asked Chat GPT, can you tell me the most popular programming languages for large enterprise applications? Okay, so if I show it to y'all what I was searching, maybe you all should also relate it. Okay, so see over here. So I tend to hit this keyword. So I just searched, show me the most popular programming languages for large enterprise applications, and show me the graph and see what it said. On the top of the ladder, it had Java over here. Okay, so Java is a language which has a very large amount of market share in the market. Lots and lots of larger enterprise applications are being made and have been made in Java over the years. Okay, so company has invested around 20 years in making a product. So that product they cannot replace overnight. So they are bound to continue with Java. So there will be a large amount of job opportunities coming in for freshers in the domain of the Java vertical. Okay, so if you can master and try to understand the concepts of Java also, you should be easily able to crack any of your coding interviews. Okay, that is on a side note. I just wanted you all to know. So you see, it should not be that, sir, I'm investing in the technology. Will this technology be relevant over the period of time? Or by the time I graduate, or by the time I pass out, will there be any projects in this technology, or will it become obsolete? So Java is here to stay in the market. Okay, so you can be rest assured, if anybody is investing time and energy in learning Java, he is bound to reap rewards, he or she. Okay, so please do not have anything in your mind that this technology is no more there in the market and there are no hiring for Java developers. I showed you a Chat GPT screen, right? And you can't fake Chat GPT. So when I compile the Java source code, it converts it into a portable code. Okay, and one of the most striking feature which made Java so popular. Okay, so why is it on the rank 1? Why is Java on the rank 1? One of the most striking features of Java which made it rank 1 is Java code is portable. Okay, so you can use this keyword while explaining what is the importance and significance of Java. So Java code means portable, also called as machine independent. Okay, so you can also refer it as machine independent. Now, what do I mean by machine independent is, okay, let me make one more slide. So What I mean by machine independent is, okay, so whatever you are guys learning in these sessions, try to understand the core crux of that topic. Okay, so it's not mandatory that we complete 100 points or 100 questions, but even if we can complete 50 questions or 40 questions, but those 50 or 40 questions have been understood thoroughly, we have served the purpose of these sessions. Okay, so instead of just unnecessarily increasing the volume of the content, if we can go and increase the quality of the question and answers, that is what I think should be more beneficial for you all. So what I mean by portable code is, so let's say there is a software developer and he is developing the code on his machine. Okay, so his machine is using a Linux operating system and his machine is using let's say AMD CPU. Okay, so this is a different platform. So platform means the combination of your OS and CPU. Okay, OS plus CPU. How many bit CPU you have is your. So there's a very famous platform by the name Wintel. Means you use a Windows OS and an Intel processor, 64-bit, 32-bit. So, and the consumer of that software, okay, the user of that software, not necessarily he also will be on a Linux OS and an AMD CPU. He is on a i5 CPU, Intel, and he is using Windows 10. So even though the code has been written, has been compiled, has been tested on a different platform, it will still run smoothly on any other platform. Okay, if you have any other platform also, so if you have a Mac OS, okay, any other platform you have, the code will smoothly run. So that is what we call Java is platform independent. So not necessary, because some languages, some languages like Microsoft languages for a very long time were platform dependent. Okay, so if you wanted to do a programming language of Microsoft, you needed Microsoft resources, Microsoft servers, Microsoft Windows, everything. But Java from the very start is a firm believer in platform independent. So even though the code has been written, compiled and tested on a different platform, it can easily execute on any other platform. Now the only prerequisite is there should be a JVM installed on either of the machine. So JVM is machine dependent. Okay, now do not be confused in this. Java is machine independent, but the JVM, that is machine dependent, means when you go and download and install Java, there will be a separate Java for a Linux OS and there will be a separate Java for a Windows OS. There will be a separate Java for a Mac OS. So you need to install the JDK. Okay, we will call this as the JDK. Going forward, I'll show the difference. What is it? So you need to install the appropriate JDK for your platform. Once you have installed the appropriate JDK, then what this JDK does is it makes a virtual machine on top of your actual physical machine. Now try to understand this concept, guys. So now what happens is, this is my actual physical machine. Once I install JDK, so if this machine is of a Linux OS, okay, so I need to install the JDK for Linux OS. Okay, on a Linux OS, please do not try to install a JDK made for Windows OS. Okay, so on my Linux OS machine, then once I install the JDK will has a virtual machine inside it. Okay, that is called as JVM. So let's try to understand this today. So now I have a JVM for Linux installed on my machine. Similarly, the consumer has his own machine. So if the consumer wants to run a Java code, it is mandatory that the consumer should also install a JDK. But the consumer will install a JDK as per his or her platform. So here I have installed a JVM for this OS, which is it? Let's say I'm using Windows OS. Okay, so this is my Windows OS machine. So I'll have a JVM for Windows. Now, this JVM will assist in the execution of the program, not this actual machine. So whenever a code is executed of Java, it is executed by this JVM, the Java virtual machine. Okay, so if you are, so this is what makes the code platform independent. So the code is written over here. So this code will be executed by this platform JVM. If I send this code across, this code can also be executed by this machine JVM. The JVM is Java standard. Okay, so that's why this is how Java achieves portability and platform independency. So once I compile the code, the resultant code after compilation is a .class file, and this .class file is machine readable. This is .java file is human readable. So if you right click and try to open this file, you can understand the instructions written because the source code is human readable. But if you right click on the class file and try to read it, you cannot make any sense out of it because it is machine instructions. Okay, so this is your bytecode, rather we can call it. And human cannot interpret this. Only machines can interpret this. Then what happens is, after this, we have one more layer. Then we, as a part of our JVM, we have a JIT, just-in-time compiler again. What this just-in-time compiler will do now, will convert this to the native code of that machine. So that physical machine which is there, it will convert it to the native code. Okay, and then this native code is the actual executable code. Okay, so this is how the code is compiled and executed in Java. So let me show you all with a practical example. Okay, I'll show you all with so let me open up Notepad, and maybe I should be able to show you all. Okay, is my screen visible? Just text, let me know if my Notepad screen is visible to you. Okay, so I make a public class. Okay, let's say I make a public class called as student. In this public class student, just I can make a test class. Yesterday I had made one. In this test class, if I need to trigger any application, it is compulsory that I have to write the main method. Now, how to write the main method in Java? Public. I'll explain this also in detail to you all, what this means, what these keywords mean. And now if I write anything over here, let's say I just display hello world. So now I want you all to keep an eye over here. Okay, if you're writing the code without any editor, without any ID like Eclipse IntelliJ, and just using plain Notepad, you have to remember one thing: the class which contains the main is made public, and the program is saved by the name of the public class with the extension .java. So when I click on save over here, I can go to any of my location. Let's say I make a program for you guys, interview batch Java programs. Okay, never try to give a space while making a folder, and I save it as .java. So now if I close this file, if I close this file and I come and to my folder where I had made this, okay, so yeah, interview batch Java program. So if you all can see over here, I have one file, okay, test, and it's a Java file. So if I right click on it and I try to edit it with, if I right click on it and if I edit it with Notepad, you will see I will get those instructions which I have written, and they can be interpreted by the human beings. Humans can understand this instruction. So this is my source code. Now once I compile this code, okay, so I'll go to the CMD. I'll keep the background screen visible to you guys so that you all can see when we compile a Java code, what is the intermediate code looks like. Are you able to see both the screens overlap, guys? Are you able to see both the screens overlap? In the background, can you see the test file? And in the foreground, can you see the command prompt? Yes, guys. So you all are only able to see the command prompt. Now what are you all able to see? Now you are able to see both the, yeah. Now see what happens. Now see, if I'm successful in compiling this file, Java, after compilation, what does Java do? After compilation, Java makes a bytecode and it has an extension .class, right? And that cannot be interpreted by humans, cannot be interpreted by humans, okay? It can only be executed by machine. So let's check it out. Okay, so let me know once both the screens are visible to you all. Yes, visible, both, one above the other. Okay, now see what happens over here. As I do a compilation over here, as I type the command Java C and what happened? Okay, I forgot to write the N. So while compiling, if there's any mistake, it will show over here. So I forgot to write the ln properly. Okay, I should have been more vigilant. So now I write a ln, I do a save, and I come back. Okay, so my main purpose is to show you all this. Okay, so now again, if I compile, if it is successful in compiling, just look in the background. Okay, the background is visible to you all, right? The background is still visible, guys. Now, still no? Yeah, now it's visible, right? So now just see what happens. Just keep an eye on the background, what happens in the background. As I hit enter, if the compilation is successful and Java is able to compile the code for every class, okay, remember this, for every class, Java will create a class file. So how many class did we have in our program? One class by the name test. So if I hit enter, it will make a, now look at the background. You see, did you observe? It made a test.class. Now that test.class, are you able to see the test.class, guys? Now that test.class is your bytecode. That is your portable code. So if I send this test.class file on a different machine, and that machine has a JVM, that this code can be executed over there. Because as I said, Java is machine independent languages. The prerequisite is you should have a JVM installed on your machine. And now if I try to go and open this test.class, okay? If I try to open this test.class, I right click on it and I edit with Notepad++. What do you think? Will the thing which opens up, as humans, can we interpret that? No. So see now. So when I open this class file, you will see that as humans, we cannot interpret this code. So this is your bytecode. So now this bytecode, now if it is being compiled on machine A, it needs to be converted to the native code. So if I had taken a variable integer A, so this integer A needs to be allotted memory. So when I'm running it on machine A, let's say address 1000 was free. So A will get memory from address 1000. But with the same code, if I'm running on machine B, I cannot guarantee that address 1000 will be free on machine B also. So maybe on machine B, this same variable will be allotted memory at address 2000. So this class file that needs to be compiled to the native code. Native code means the machine code. And then it gets executed over there. I hope you all are able to understand this entire flow from source code to the intermediate code, then native code, and then the output comes. So now once I have the class file, then to execute it, what we do is we just type Java and the name of the class which contains main. Always a triggering point of the application is the main. So Java and test, and as I hit enter, it will show me the output over here. Okay, so it has gone through this various phases. So now if we come over here, so this is high level language, this is middle level language, and this is low level language. So now tell me, where does Java fall into? Where does Java fall into which category? High level language. This is what I wanted to discuss. So I had brought you all over here. So the first point which we wrote, what is Java? So you should say Java is a high level language. Okay, and it is object oriented programming language. It is machine independent. It is portable. Okay, try to explain the interview with these keywords. Use these words in your interview. And if we ask how does Java achieve portability? So you can say code written on one machine can be successfully executed on another machine. Only prerequisite is both the machines should have their appropriate JVM. So Linux machine should have Linux JVM, Windows machine should have Windows JVM. So if you go to the download of Java, so if whenever you are downloading Java, you will observe, okay, so if I go to the official website, of Java to download the JDK, okay, this is the official, okay, as Java is now owned by Oracle. So you should observe, okay, I go to download. So you should now observe over here. Maybe I should have gone to the second site, okay, Java download, the Oracle site. So see over here, guys, if you observe over here, it is asking you want to download the JDK for which platform, see. Okay, so the JDK is platform dependent, but Java is not platform dependent. I hope this sentence is not causing any confusion. So you have to download the appropriate JDK for your machine. Okay, so let's come back to our questionnaire which I was following. Okay, so what is Java? Java is a high level language, object oriented programming language. Then JDK, JRE, and JVM. Okay, so this is, you can think of this as India, you can think this as Maharashtra, you can think this as Mumbai. So India, within India I have Maharashtra, within Maharashtra I have Mumbai. So the topmost layer is JDK, within JDK we have JRE, and within JRE we have a JVM. So when we download a JDK, it comes with a JVM inside. Okay, so these are all your JDKs. Okay, so if you see over, these are the JDKs. Okay, the latest version of JDK which is in the market is JDK 22. Just for the sake of your general knowledge, latest version is currently now going on is 22. Okay, we will release a new version very soon. Okay, so the latest ones are always JDK 22 is going on right now. So to run a Java program, you need to install this JDK, and this JDK has a JVM inbuilt. Okay, what are the main features and advantages of Java? So as I mentioned, what are the main advantages? It is portable, it is machine independent, it is object oriented. Okay, and then when I say object oriented, what are the object oriented features we are aware of, guys? Okay, so where's the Word file which I was maintaining for you guys? Okay, so it's high level and object oriented. Now, what are the object oriented features which are aware of? Okay, so the object oriented features such as class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, okay, encapsulation. So these are the prominent object oriented features, and Java supports all of these features. Okay, so thus Java is object oriented programming language. Yes. I'll share this file. I'll make a GitHub repository, and whatever content I'm creating over here, I'll share that onto the GitHub, and you can download it from there. Not sure whether this will be available on LMS, but whatever code we are writing or whatever documents you are preparing over here, okay, I'll post it on the GitHub, and I'll share the link with you all. So you all can just, you all will have one single stop to download and access all this data over there. Okay, so don't worry about the notes. We'll try to assist you all with the notes also, but try to understand the concepts, and I'll also share the notes with you all. Okay. Okay, now then yesterday we had done what is the main method in Java and what is the signature of the main method. So the main method is, okay, so let's say a question 2, what is main method and its signature? So who can tell? Main method is the entry point of the application. Is the entry point of the application. So the application starts from the main method, and its signature is it has public, static, void, main, string, arms. Okay. Now, how many things we have over here? We have over here A is public, B what is static, C what is void, D what is main, and E what is the parameter string args. Okay, so public comes under access specifier. So these are called as access specifiers, and there are 4 of them in Java. Public is the most widest. Okay, then you have protected. So then you have the default one. Don't specify anything. Okay, or rather we'll take it protected. Second, then default, and then private. So these are the access specifiers. If I write public before a function name, it can be directly accessed from anywhere in the application. Okay, so see guys, we missed out on what is the JVM. Okay, so what is JVM? Okay, so JVM is a program. What did we write over here in that Notepad++? What did we write over here? This is called as a program, right? Set of instructions. Similarly, you can just in a single line tell JVM is a program. That is, it is a set of instructions. Now to execute the program, the JVM, one program can call another program, right? Functions can call another functions. So to execute the application, JVM needs to call the main method. So who calls the main method? Okay, so you can say it calls the main method. Okay, okay. Yesterday I had given you all a technical vocabulary word to replace with automatically. Does anyone recollect that word? So instead of using automatically, what should we use? Yes, implicitly, right? So today I'm giving you one more technical word. Instead of using calls, instead of saying function call, always say invoke. Okay, so instead of writing call, always say invoke. Okay, so this will reflect on the interviewer. The technical jargons, the technical words which you use does have an impression on the interviewer about the understanding of your concept. So instead of call, now you will not use call. Okay, instead now you can erase call from your vocabulary. Function is not called, function is invoked. Okay, so I'll strike this. So it invokes the main method. So which main method does it invoke? So now JVM is an outsider program. Any program outside this class is an outsider program. So now, is JVM insider or outsider to this class? Yes. Is JVM insider or outsider to this class test? No, outsider. JVM is an outside. Anything outside these 7 lines is outsider of this class. Anything outside these 7 lines are called as outsider of this class. So if I write over here anything, so now tell me, is line number 10 insider of the class test or outsider of the class test? Line number 10 is this. This line is what? Insider or outsider to the class test? It's an outsider, correct? So now, do we have the JVM in the class test? So to this application, JVM is an insider or outsider? JVM is an outsider. JVM is an outsider for all the applications. So if an outsider should be permitted to call a method, that method has to be public. Else an outsider cannot call that method. If I make it private, you see what happens when I compile this code. See. So I made it private now. Okay, I've showed it to you all. I made it private. Now let me open up my command prompt and share the screen with you all. And now you will see JVM will struggle to locate this. Okay. JVM will struggle to. So now if I do Java C, and now you should. Okay, now when I run, okay, Java will call it for execution. So now you will see that, okay, it is telling main method not found in the class. Please define the main method as public static void main. So main JVM always calls the main method. So JVM is an outsider. If an outsider needs to access a method of a class, then that method. So if you want to permit, okay, if we wish to permit an outside program to directly access, okay, the catch over here, okay, I'm emphasizing on this word directly. If you wish to permit an outside program to directly access a method, then that method should be made public. Else outsider will not directly access it. Outsider can only access the public part of the class. Okay, so let me explain this again with a real world example. So maybe things should be clear to you all. Okay, so we will not go on the volume, we will go on the quantity, we will go on the quality of the training. Okay, so even though if we cover lesser topics but we have covered them thoroughly, we are still successful in our endeavor. So see, this is an apartment, this is a flat. Okay, so this is the hall, that is the public area, and then there is some passage, and the passage leads to the kitchen and bedroom and washroom, like this. So here you have the kitchen, and here you have the bedroom, and here you have the washroom, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's say this is the kitchen, this is the washroom, and this is the bedroom, and this is the hall, and this is the entrance of the house. So in the house there are three people, mom, dad, and son. Okay, so let's say in the home we have three people, mom, dad, and son. They are staying in this house. So the son has applied for his passport. So the police constable has come for his inquiry. So whenever you apply for a passport, some police constable comes home with the documents for verification. Now, this police constable is an insider or outsider? He is an outsider of the house, right? So we will ask him, and we will, because it will take time for the formality, so we will ask him to sit. So let's say we have a sofa over here, and in front of the sofa we have a table, and on the table we have a magazine or some just normal magazine over there. So now this constable can come and sit on the sofa over here. Now, can this constable pick up this magazine on this table, and if it is taking time for the documents to be signed, and start flipping over the pages if he's getting restless? Yes, because this magazine is kept in the public area of the house. So outsider has direct access to this. So he can take this magazine and start reading it. Okay, now if he has come in the month of March and if he is thirsty and the water is kept in the refrigerator, let's say this is the water bottle kept over here. Now, can this constable directly walk up to the kitchen, open the fridge and have water? No. Why? Because the kitchen is in the private area of the house. An outsider does not have direct access to the private area of the house. Outsider, see there's an opening over here. There is an opening over here. So the outsider can have direct access to the public part of the house. But outsider does not have any direct access to the private area of the house. So he will ask someone to bring him water. So he will ask the son Can I have a glass of water? The son, as he is a member of the class, he can go and bring him water. So outsider programs have direct access. Okay, so to the magazine he had direct access, but to the water he has access. It's not that he will go thirsty from the house. He has access, but he does not have. The catch is which keyword? Direct access. He does not have direct access. So JVM, can it directly call main? JVM, can it directly call main method? Yes. That's why main is public, because I want to give JVM the access to main, because main will be executed by the JVM. So JVM should have access to it. That's why I've kept main in the public, so that the JVM, which is an outsider program, can have direct access to main. Am I understood, guys, with the first keyword, public? Yes, no, maybe. Is this style suiting you guys? Am I able to convince you all with the concepts, guys? Anybody who thinks otherwise, that sir, we were confused earlier, and after your sessions the confusion has increased. Instead of it is reducing the difficulty, I am finding it more difficult. So I hope these sessions are beneficial, right? Today we're just in the second session. So as we go on and as we progress, you will realize that the confidence level within yourself. So if you are appearing for any interview in the first week of October, please send to the recruiter that please schedule the interview. I will be ready for the interview by the first week of October. By the end of the sessions, you all will feel within yourself that there is some level of confidence has increased. Okay. Next keyword is static. Static keyword is, see, whenever we call a method, okay. So now again, I'll have to, because my style of training is I rely more on giving real world examples for you all to understand the concept. So once the concept is understood, then you all can always communicate. So let's say, people are fond of baking with some confectionery. So let's say if I went to a very fancy exhibition, and that fancy exhibition I saw a mold, they make cakes out of it, which we place in the oven. We put some dough in it and then we put this into the oven. Maybe if I can show you all. Okay. Cake mold. See, like this. Are you able to see my screen, guys? So let's say, so this is a heart-shaped mold. This is a circular mold. Okay. So let's say this is a heart shape. Or let's say, so I go to a very fancy exhibition and I bought a star-shaped mold. Okay. And it costed me 10,000 rupees. A very heavy investment I made on it. And I bought it, let's say, on 10th September 2014. So how many years since I bought it? It's been 10 years since I bought it. But I have not made a single cake from it now. I have not made a single cake from this mold. So is this 10,000 rupees investment dead investment or fruitful investment? Because the purpose for which I had bought it has not been served. So what do you all say? A or B? It's dead investment because you had bought the mold to make cakes and it means 10 years and not a single cake has been made. So the 10,000 rupees has not made any benefit till now. So now I'll ask the question, which I will call as the golden question. So my golden question is, why do we buy a mold? So the golden answer for this should be to bake cakes. Simple as that. So we buy the mold so that we can bake cakes. Okay, so I can make multiple cakes from this. So I can make one cake daily from this. Okay. Then when I bake a cake from this mold, that cake will have the attributes of this mold. Correct? So if I bought a star shaped mold, the cake will also be star shaped. And from one mold, I can make n number of cakes. If I make a cake daily, in a year, I can make 365 cakes. And in 10 years, I could have made approx 3,600 cakes. Okay. If this mold were to fall down and there would be a dent in this mold, okay. So let's say this mold fell down. It's an aluminium mold and it got some dent over here. So now when I will bake the cake, will the cake also have the dent or it will not have the dent? So each cake which I will make from this mold, going forward, that cake will also have a dent at the very same position, right? Just to signal that this cake has been made from this very mold. Now is so the golden question is, why do we buy a mold to bake cakes? Now my silver question, which I will call a silver question, why do we bake a cake? Then the silver answer should be to eat it, right? So similarly, if I take this with regards to object-oriented concepts, this mold is the class. Once I have the class, I can make n number of objects from that class. So I can make n number of objects. As many objects I want, I can make from this class. Object 1, object 2, object 3, blah, blah, blah. N number of objects. So now my question is, now I'll map these golden and silver questions on object-oriented programming now. So now my golden question is, why do we make a class? Who can answer it? Okay, so if the example is understood, the answer should be spontaneous. The answer, I guess, most of us are writing so that we can make objects, object or objects of that class. Correct? I hope you all are able to understand this. Now is the thing which I wanted to explain. Then why do we make an object? That is my silver question. Why do we create an object? The answer to that is to invoke methods of the class. To invoke what? Methods of the class. So if you wanted to invoke any method of the class, it is a prerequisite that you should have the object of that class. The only exception is over here is static method. Static method can be invoked without object also. So to invoke a static method, it is not mandatory to have an object. This is the only exception, without creating object. So now, is it mandatory that the JVM should have object of the test class to call main? Is it compulsory on the JVM to make an object of test class to call main? Because main is a method of the class. So as per the rule, if you want to call any method of the class, you should have an object of that class. So who will call main method? JVM. So does JVM need to create the object of test class to call the main method? No, correct. Why no? Because main is a static method and static method can be directly called with the help of a class name. Correct. That's why main is static. So directly JVM you can call it test.main. And void means the function which does not return anything to its caller is called void. It's prefixed with the keyword void. So if I write void means this function does not return anything. And this is the name of the function. And this is the argument. These are called command line arguments. String args are called as command line arguments. Okay, so the JVM will call the main which has argument as string args, an array of string. You can name, give anything, give any name to the array. You can give a, or you can give a arg, but you should have a array of string as an argument. So which main method will JVM call? JVM will only call the main method whose parameter is of what type? String args. Okay. So now I'll give you all a question which the interviewer can trick you all. If the interviewer tricks you all and says, can I have two main methods in a class? So this is called as overloading. When I have the same name but different signature. Okay. Can I have two mains in one class? Yes. The answer is yes, you can have. But which main will the JVM call? Will the JVM call the line number 8 or line number 3? Which main method will the JVM call? The one on line number 3 or the one on line number 8? The one on line number 3. The one at line number 3, because JVM will always call the main whose arguments are what type? Array of strings. Irrespective whatever name you give to the array, that is immaterial. But the parameter of that main should be an array of strings. So JVM will always call. So to initiate the application, to trigger the application, JVM program will call the main method. So which main method will JVM call? JVM will always search for that main whose parameters are of type string and an array of string. So if apart from that, if I write any other main, JVM will not call that. So if I write any other main, I can write it. But JVM, the main which JVM calls is the one which is having argument as string array. Am I understood? So are these keywords understood? Public, static, void, main, string args. Okay. So we will document this. So A, so what is A? Why is it public? Why is it public? The reason it is in public means as JVM is an outsider program, it should be able to have direct access to the main method. That's why the main method is public. Why is it static? The reason why it is static is static methods can be invoked without creating an object. So it's not compulsion on JVM to create object of the class. It can call or it can invoke main method without creating object also. That's why it is called static. Why is it called void? Main method does not return any value. Hence, it is prefixed with void keyword. And then main is the name of the method. Okay, this is the method name. And string, what is string args then? String args are called as command line arguments, known as what? Command line arguments. Okay, short form CLA. Okay, JVM will only call the main method whose parameters are array of string. Okay, so that main whose parameters is an array of string, JVM will only call that main. So I can have multiple mains in the same class, but JVM will call that main which is having multiple. Okay, so I'll just say A2 solutions. Okay, so I'll just save this file and we can share it with you all after the session. Java virtual machine, Rajita. JVM. Okay. So far, so good, guys. I hope we are going pretty good. Let's take the next question now. Okay. Now, what is bytecode? What is high level code, low level code? I explained this to you all. Okay, guys. I explained this to you all. What is bytecode? What is high level code? And what is low level code? Okay. Yesterday we had a discussion going on for data types. Okay, and primitive and non-primitives. So we'll add on to that. Okay, this is a very important question which the interviewer, do you all want these slides also to be posted on the GitHub, or can we do without these slides? Yes, guys, if you all want me to post these also, okay, then I'll have to save this also. So whatever slides you are making, I'll save it. Okay, so we'll have a day-wise structure then. Maybe I'll make a day-wise. Okay. So I go to the. Let me check where I need to save these, okay? That I can share it with you all. Save. And we go to XLR. And here I have an interview prep. And this I'll say day 2. Okay. And day 2. And I'll same as gold and silver. Okay, so these will be our jargons. Golden question, silver question. I'll save each slide and don't lose anything. Okay. Same as constable. Palette. Access. Water. Saving each of them. So yeah, we can save this as that is portability in Java. Okay. And this is what we had for high level, middle level, and low level language. High level, mid level, low level language. This should be a good exercise. Okay. Yeah, I've saved all these files, so they will not be any loss. And we can. Yeah, I'm just talking to myself. I was saving these files, so I wasn't teaching anything. Okay. So now primitive and reference type. This is also very interesting. Array is under which domain? What do you all think? Array is primitive or non-primitive? Array is non-primitive, yes. Integer is primitive. So while answering this question, okay, I'll give you all some bullet points, what you all can answer confidently. Yeah. Data types in Java, what we can call them? Data types in Java. Is our paint screen visible to you all, guys? Is our paint screen visible to you all? Okay. So for this, one second. Okay. So now to understand this better, what we need to do is if I declare a integer variable integer x and is as to value 10. So all your integer character, all are primitive types. So what happens in a primitive type is directly it gets stored into a memory called as your stack memory. So this is the variable name, as I said yesterday. Every variable has three things associated with it: variable name, variable value, and variable address. Okay. So what happens over here is a stack entry is made, and these three things are pushed onto the stack. So first thing is the variable name. Next is the variable value. And the third thing is the variable address. So how will you populate this? Variable name is x. value is 1000 and the variable address is, okay, value is 10, right? Value is 10 and variable address is 1000. So this memory is allotted from the, see the memory which we have, let's say if Java is of various types, okay? So we have a stack memory and we have a heap memory. So let's say for beginners fresher level, if you say memory partition in Java, you can say we have two very famous partitions of memory called as stack memory and heap memory. In stack memory, I allot memory for the primitives. The primitives get the memory from the stack. So this is my memory stack. Okay, or you can call it stack memory. Remember this. And directly the variable name, variable value, variable address. But when it comes to the non-primitives, see what happens when it comes to the non-primitive. So if I, let's say, have any object, or if I have any string, and if I make a string str equals to, let's say I make a string hello, as it is a class, so it is a non-primitive. So what happens over here is, in the stack memory, which I will have over here. Okay, so let me make this a bit bigger so that you all understand what's going on. So data, when I'm storing a non-primitive gets memory from the heap. Okay, always try to remember this. Non-primitives are allotted. So first difference, okay, if I do a comparison, memory is allocated from stack memory area. Memory is allotted from which memory area? So we have two memory areas, right? I discussed with you all now. What are the two famous memory areas in Java? Okay, so you all should be comfortable. So the two memory areas is, you have the stack memory area and you have the heap memory area. Okay, so we'll try to dive deeper into this as the sessions go on. But as of now, this you all should understand. So I have two famous memory areas. Memory to the primitives are allotted in this, and memory to the non-primitives are allotted from the heap. So memory is allocated from heap area. So what happens over here is, this hello will be stored somewhere in the heap area at some address. So whatever I have made over here, okay, whatever data I have written over here, this hello. So this is my heap, okay. This is my heap area, heap memory. So my non-primitive, which is str, will be, what is it having? Okay, it is having hello, right? So it is having a string called as hello. Let's say hello is stored at address 999 in the heap. The stack will just now keep the, so the value of the stack as their reference type, okay? So they are not value type. So here you have the variable value being stored. Here you have the reference of the heap where this value is stored. So at which address in the heap this value is stored? This value is stored in the heap at which address? 999. And the stack will just keep the reference. So it will not actually keep the data. So here the stack is holding the reference of what location? 999, and at 999 your hello is there. So stack is not holding the actual data, it is holding the reference of the data. Okay, so if something manipulates at this address, okay, see, I'll show you what I'm trying to say. So is this understood? So for the primitives, directly in the stack memory, I will store the value. But for the non-primitive, the stack memory, I will not store the value, I will store the reference. And at that memory address, you will find that data, okay? So this is the address over here in the heap. So I am storing the reference of that heap address over here in the stack. So this is the biggest difference between primitive and non-primitive type of data. Okay, there are other differences also. So here it is of fixed size. Yesterday we had discussed that, right? So a byte is of 1 byte, short is of 2 bytes, integer is of 4 bytes, long is of 8 bytes, double is of 8 bytes. So here size is fixed, but here size is variable. So if I have hello, hello is of 5 characters, 1 character, 1 byte. So this to store hello, I'll require 5 bytes. And if I write over here, hello, welcome to. So as the data is changing, the size will also change. So here the size is variable size. Okay, second difference between them is size is variable. Okay, the first difference is the memory is allotted from the stack, memory is allotted from the heap. Fixed size, and here variable size. Here I can hold only single value, can store single value only. But as we said, arrays are non-primitives. Arrays can hold multiple values. So non-primitives can store multiple values. Okay, and yeah, third point, right? I hope you all are understanding, guys, what I'm trying to show you all. Okay, so even these, and fourth point, as I said yesterday, we cannot invoke any method. We cannot invoke any method using primitives, but using non-primitives, we can invoke methods. I'll show you all a demo. We can invoke methods. Okay, so if you all can understand these 4 points, it will be very easy for you all to explain types of data types, primitive and non-primitive. Okay, so primitives are value type. Okay, you can also call them as, also known as, primitive is value type, because directly the value is stored in the stack. Directly the value is stored in the stack. And we can call non-primitives as reference type, because the value is not stored in the stack. The reference of the heap memory is stored into the stack. Okay, so let me save this also for you all. And primitive and non-primitive. Okay. So this was the theoretical part. Now let's do a practical and understand what I mean by value type and what I mean by reference type. So we have a concept if the interviewer asks you all what is call by value and what is call by reference, how will you explain that to the interviewer? So first let's explain call by value. So if you get your original mark sheet, let's say, okay, someone comes up to me with the original mark sheet. And original mark sheet will be in color. Okay, so the list of subjects will be there, data structures, and he say I got 89 in data structures. In CPP I got 91, and let's say in SQL I was supposed to get 90, but I got 75. So he says, and the original hologram of the university will be there, original hologram. And he says, sir, should I give this SQL paper for evaluation so that I can improve my marks? I take a pen and I start scribbling on the original mark sheet. Will the candidate allow me to scribble on the original mark sheet? I'm doing some calculations. He says, sir, I'll get you a copy of this. I'll get you a copy of this Xerox copy. So will be same to same like the original. So whatever is there on the original, same to same will be in the Xerox, word to word same. So this also will have DS 89, CPP 91, SQL 75. Now if I take a pen, a red pen, and I start scribbling on this Xerox copy, will it have any impact on the original? After doing scribbling, I tear the Xerox copy also. I tear it to pieces. Will it have any impact on the original? Or will the original also change, or original also will get torn? Or the original remains as it is? Okay, so there will be no impact on the original. This is called as call by value. Okay, one more example, if you see those action movies, so the hero is not doing the stunts. There is a body double. Okay, so this is the hero, the actual actor, and the stunts is done by someone who is just looks like the hero. It is called as the body double. So if while jumping from the building, who is jumping from the building, the hero or the body double? Okay, body double. So if while jumping from the building, there is an injury, the injury is to whom? The injury is to the double. The hero remains intact. There is no injury to the hero. So whatever is happening to the body double. So whatever is happening over here is happening on a copy of the data. The original remains intact. So that is called as call by value. And your primitives are value type. So primitive will always be passed by call by value. So now let me take a programming example and show it to you all. Okay. So if you all remember, yesterday we had made a project by you guys batch that was what? Interview preparation batch. And I had made one day 2. Okay, so I had made it in advance. So I'll remove this class, not required over here. So now I'll make a new class over here and call it as call by value demo. I'll give you a demo of call by value, and you all can check this box so that you all can get the ready-made main method in that. Okay. So now tell me, this integer a is 10. Is primitive or non-primitive? It is primitive data. So now if I call it to a function, pass it to a function test. So I'm calling function test. So I create a function test. And now this this A now has come into this Z. So what is the value of A? Okay, so as we are doing call by value, okay. So I'll explain out here only so that we can share this slide also. So the variable name is A, the value is 10, and the address is 1000. So when I pass this A to a function as a parameter, I'm holding it in which variable? Z. So this is called as actual parameter. This is called as formal parameter. The type of the actual parameter and formal should be same. The type should be same. The variable name can change. You all can keep it same also, and you all can change also. So, but the type cannot change. So I'm passing A. A is of type integer. I have to compulsory hold it in the same type of integer type. So now Z is the Xerox of A. So it will have the same data like a body double. It will look exactly the same. You can't, in the audience, you can't even make out that the hero was not the one who did the stunt. So they look identical. So Z has also now got 10, but it is a different variable. It will have a different address. Okay. Now, if I go and modify the value of Z, will it modify the value of A is my question. So if I come here and if I say Z, okay. So now if I come here and display the value of, so if shortcut for system dot out of is out, control space bar. And if I say value, okay, before function call, what do I say? Before function call, if I display the value of A, what will it display me? 10. Now this A will come into Z. And now if I change the value of Z to 100, and if I display the value of A again after the function call, what do you think will be the output? Who can trace the output and tell me? Will it be 10, 10 or will it be 10, 100? Will it be 10, 100 or 10, 10? Tell me. Option A or option B? So option A, 10, 10. Or option B, 10, 100. I would want everyone to participate, guys, so that I hope you all are understanding the questions. 10, 10, 10, 100. 10, 100, A, 10, 10. Okay, we have mixed options. A, B. Lots of people are saying A, B. Okay. See, guys, when I pass A goes into Z. So if I am changing the value of Z, it will not impact the original. Because whatever modifications have been taken place has been taken place on the duplicate. So if I tear this black color paper, will the red color paper also tear? If this body double is injured, does the hero also gets injured? No, right? The answer is no. So if I modify Z, will it modify A? No. So if Z becomes 100, A still remains 10. A is not modified. So as it is a primitive data, it is using value, call by value. So the answer to this correct was 10, 10. It will not change. Yes, absolutely. This is what I was expecting, Shivam. This is what you need to answer with confidence. So it will not change. So if the interviewer shows you this screen and tells you, please trace the output and tell me what should be the output of the screen. So the output is A. So the original value will not change. Whatever changes is happening on the duplicate. The original still remains intact. So answer will be 10 before also and 10 after also. Am I understood, guys? So now if I do a save and I run the application, you will see both time it will show 10 and 10. See, the duplicate changed, but the original did not change because I passed a primitive, and primitive is call by value. And in call by value, we pass a copy of the variable, we do not pass the original. Am I understood, guys? Now let's come to call by value, call by reference, sorry. So call by reference means for non-primitives. Call by reference will be used for which data type? Call by reference will be used for non-primitive. Okay, so as I had mentioned over here. So primitive is called by value and non-primitive is called by reference. So array comes under which category? Okay, so now the fifth point you could have said example also. So example int char float, and here you could have told the fifth point as example array objects, okay, interface enums blah blah blah. So this is a healthy answer. This answer is more than sufficient for you all to convince the examiner if you all can answer these 5 points. Okay, so now arrays come under which category? Non-primitive, right? So now if I take non-primitive, so let me first explain the real world example. So this is a story, a fairy tale, you know, fairy tales which are there in movies. So there was a village and there was a witch who was troubling the villagers. So every day that witch would come, you know, witch, you also in Harry Potter, they fly on the broom, they have some magical powers. So that witch would come to the village and it would trouble the farmers, trouble the villagers, it would destroy their crops, it would eat up their cattle, you know. So it was a big nuisance to the village, that witch. So one fine day, the hero, which is the main lead of that story, is walking by the village and he sees that all the villagers are very sad. So he goes up to them and asks, why are you all sad? So they narrate the entire story to them, that this is what we are suffering from. So that hero, as he is the main actor, he goes in search of the witch. He says, I will catch the witch, I will kill the witch, so that you all are freed from the torment. So he goes deep into the jungle in search of the witch. So there, when in the jungle, he sees a very big saint. That saint has been, you know, preaching in the jungle for many years. So he sees that gentleman. So he says, where are you going? He says, I'm going in search of the witch. I'm going in search of the witch I want to kill the witch. So the saint says that I have been preaching here for so many years, 100 years, and lots of people have come to try to catch the witch, but everybody were not successful because the witch has magical powers. You look to me a very good man, so I'll give you a hint. So he says, you don't kill the witch. The life of the witch is in a parrot. And he gives the description of the parrot and the location of the parrot to the hero. That in this mountain, in this jungle, you will see a cage. In that cage, you will see a parrot. You kill the parrot, the witch will die. So now this hero takes a U-turn. Now instead of searching for the witch, he goes in search of the parrot. He finds the parrot. Here he kills the parrot. Here the witch also dies. So are these two different entities or are they same entity? So if you kill one, the other one also dies. So that is called as your call by reference. So if I have an array by the name ARR, okay, if I have an array by the name ARR, let's say and let's say it is an array of size 3. Array of size 3. And it is having value 10, 20, 30. So at what index is 10? At what index is 20? At what index is 30? Who will tell me? Okay, you all know arrays, right? So ARR array. So at index 0, I have 10. And at index 1, I have 20. And at index 2, I have 30. Now I pass this array. Okay, so address of this array is 1000. So let's not disturb the witch and the parrot. So I take my array outside. So in reference, we pass the address. If you remember, whenever we are doing reference, we do not store the value, we store the reference, at which reference that data is. So what is the address of this array? Let's say this address array ARR is at address 1000. So when I pass this array, I need to store it into a different variable. Let's say I store it into BRR. So ARR is also pointing to 1000 and BRR, in which I am storing it, is also pointing to 1000. They both are pointing to the same location. So the life of the witch and the life of the parrot is same. So if I modify BRR, will it impact ARR also? If I modify BRR, it should also impact ARR. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. I'll make a new class and call it call by reference demo. Call by reference demo, and I add the main to it and I finish. So now instead of making a primitive, I'm making a non-primitive ARR, and I will add the numbers 10, 20, 30. Okay. What happened? Okay. And now, which is the number at the first index? So before function call, I want to display the number at the first index. How will I display? ARR of 0. So what will it display me? It will display me 10, correct? Then I call the test function and I pass the entire array ARR to it. So now create this function, just hover over there and it will prompt you. So, okay, so this Eclipse has this feature. As you hover over the function, it will directly say create a function. Okay, you can make it public as of now. And now in this ARR, I am putting it into BRR. Okay. Now I am passing what as an argument? I am passing ARR. ARR is an array, and array is a non-primitive, correct? So what I am passing as an argument is a non-primitive. And non-primitives are passed by reference, not the value. So the address has been passed. So BRR. So now if I come over here and say the BRR 0 index has been modified to 100. And if I come again and display the value of ARR after the function call, what do you think should be the output? 10, 10, that is option A, or option B, 10, 100. Come on, tell me. Send in your answers. Okay, I'll wait for a minute over here and to check what people are sending, A or B. Okay, you can just say answer A or B. Yes. Rajita, Fatima, Ansika, Anantir, Tabish, Abhishek, Pawan, Ibrahim, Shivam, Vipra, Rutuja, Preeti. Yes, people are participating. I'm happy to see the response, guys. Perfect. Shreyas, what makes you say A? What makes Shreyas say A? First candidate who posted A, Shreyas. Shreyas, as we are passing call by reference, so any modification which happens, so if I modify the parrot, does the width change? If I kill the parrot, does the width die? Yes. So any modification which is happening on BRR will eventually affect on ARR also. So if the zero index of BRR is made to 100, it will reflect on the zero index of ARR also. Okay. Yeah, so most of you are answering with B, which is absolutely correct. So here, if I display before, it will say me 10. And after the test, if I make a modification in the array and display, so as array is called by reference, the modification will reflect over here also. So you modify the array at any place, the original will be impacted. Okay. Save, right click, run as Java application, and you will see 10 and 100. Is this making sense to you all, guys? Am I understood? Okay, so let me start posting this. Meanwhile, whatever we have created today. Okay, so access specifiers I have created. Then today I have shown you all call by, okay, types, categories of data types, right? Categories of data types, which is primitive and non-primitive, and I have shown you what we mean by call by value, and we also covered, okay, call by value, and we also covered call by reference. Good one. Let me save all this. Okay, this file I've named it as day2, and whatever else I have prepared for you guys. Okay, so let me save this also. Call by value, and let me save this also, call by reference. So it should be. So now I'll make a GitHub repo and I'll push all of this data over there. Okay. If you all want to learn how to make a GitHub repo, I'll show you all. Yes, Jayashri, you can text in your doubts. Okay, first let me create this, and then maybe I can share it with you all. Okay, guys, I have prepared the GitHub repo. So you all can use this. Okay. Yeah, I was preparing the GitHub repo. Yes, so this is the repo you all can use for the data. Okay. Have you all got the link, guys? Am I audible to you all? Yeah, so try opening it and check if you all are able to see the files which I pushed. Okay, all good. Perfect. So daily basis, I'll keep on uploading whatever research I'm doing and whatever tasks we are doing over here. I'll be good. Okay. So guys, this page suits everyone. Okay, you can just send in your vote so that we can pace the training session accordingly. Okay. So we are, instead of completing course in a hurry and people not understanding, it is better we go at a decent pace when everybody benefits from that. Okay. Jayashri had a question. She told, I'm waiting for a question. Fatima, you can text in your doubts. Whatever doubts you all are having, you all can send in your doubts over the chat. And so periodically, I'll keep on opening the chat and will. Arun, today we didn't do much of Java classes. I just made one class today. So you want that also to be pushed. But then later on, we messed up with that class also by adding the multiple mains. So I did not push that. I'll share my screen. The reason I did not push the Java file was, see, this got all messed up by showing all the multiple mains. So if you insist, I can add this also. So I can just I'll do a save all, not save all, cancel. I'll do a save as, and I'll save it into our directory which I have made for you guys. Okay, so I'll save it over here. Okay, so now whatever modification has happened in the Git, now this is how we push the code to the Git. You can see my screen. So as I do a Git status, it will show me which all files have been added or modified after the last commit. So this has been added. So to add that to the staging, you say git add dot. Okay, and then you do a git commit -m. That means message, and you say a message added test file, and then you can do a git push. And as you do a git push, it should reflect. Yeah, now if you refresh, you should be able to see the file. Yes, I am talking to Arun. Yeah, Arun, now if you refresh, you'll see the test file also. Link of JDK 1.8 you all want again. Okay, let me go to my GitHub and get you all the JDK 8 link also. JDK. So this is the link of JDK 8. Whoever wanted it, I'm sending it across. Whoever wanted the link for JDK 8, this is it. Yeah, Ashad, I've sent you the link of JDK. Okay then, guys. See you all tomorrow, same time. And tomorrow we'll start with the next set of questions. So I have shown you all the set of questions, initially. So we'll try to take the next set of questions as we progress. Okay. Take care, guys. Have a good evening. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Wonderful session.
Okay.
So I'll take that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So students, I'm sharing the attendance link. If you missed out your attendance, please mark your attendance, okay? And I'm sharing the GitHub link also. Any more questions you can ask me here in the chat box. So file is not opening. Just check now again. Do we have any test for this? So we have assessment in the last day, okay, 15th day. On all these topics, whichever we had learned here, no? So on that topics, we have assessment. And hi ma'am, can I know about the session? This is a certification course. Yes, Jayashree. This is a certification course. And after completion of this program, we will provide certificate, okay? For that, you required a 60% attendance, so that you have to mark your attendance daily. Can we have a group in WhatsApp to share the file? Sorry, we don't have, Raman. Okay, link for registration. Yes, I will share. Arun, that's okay, no problem. The program is whole week or just weekdays? Yeah, weekdays. Okay, Monday to Friday for 15 days. Ma'am, if we don't pass in assessment and we have more than 60% attendance, we will get the certificate. Yes, you will receive certificate, because based on attendance we are providing certificate, okay, not based on assessment marks. Does the assessment carry points or marks, ma'am? No, assessment we are conducting for your practice purpose, like what you learned, okay, for checking your knowledge. That's it. Yeah, assessment is an MCQ type. There is no WhatsApp group, your Anjali. Okay. Ma'am, is there any Python course by your side? So Hanshika, we have paid course on Python. Okay. If you want more details on that, you just drop an email to edl@exceller.com. So that email ID I'm mentioning in the chat box. Okay, please take from here. I don't have doubt. We can leave, ma'am. Yes. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave the session. Okay. So I can see there is no more doubts in YouTube also. So that good to go. We'll wind up the session. Okay. We'll meet on tomorrow. Up to then, take care. Bye bye. Good night, everyone.